Wow, g'day. This is George speaking, ready for another message of hope for the 20th of May 2026. Are you ready, people? A man named Edwin Nehmeyer wrote a letter to Reader's Digest. Put in the comments here if you read Reader's Digest. I want to know exactly how popular it is. Okay. Well, I came across this recently and it made me pause. This is what he wrote. A decade ago, he checked into a hotel room, but there was no coffee machine. But the lobby sold cups of $4 each downstairs. Now, Edwin drinks 4+ cups a day. I'm in the echo chamber here. Can you see it? Anyway, he describes it as his only vice, V-I-C-E, which means a substitute. And he would say it's a fairly economical vice, as far as vices go. So when he went out and bought a jar of instant coffee and a $20 hot water pot. He has used that pot every single day since. Pretty good and believable. And by his own count, he's used it over 10,000 times. Right? That's a lot of coffee he's making. So here's the mathematics, $20, 10,000 users. Wow. So one man quietly executing a small daily thing for over a decade. But you know what? I've also got a version of that story. However, less glorious because it reflects considerably less well on me. You see, I spent thousands of dollars, not 100, but thousands, on online courses and how-to guides. I bought software packages that were going to transform the way I work. You know, those step-by-step programs on skills that I genuinely wanted, and full courses on topics I was certain I needed to master. But the reality is, I never finished most of them. Not even half, perhaps. And some I barely started them off. A few I bought and never even opened, I suspect, yeah. Maybe one or two. And here's what I'd rather not say. Somewhere at the moment of purchase, I knew it. I knew my own track record, and I knew that a half-finished course sitting in another tab from 3 months back or more. I knew that specific feeling, the familiar rush of clicking to buy before the timer stops, right? The countdown timer. That I'm already half aware this one will follow the same path as the last one. Telling myself, no, it's different this time, I'm going to finish. So that's not just being impulsive. I think it's a particular kind of dishonesty, isn't it, to myself. It's directly inwardly. Now, I buy a few of them these days, thank goodness. Now, I won't claim I've completely stopped. I don't think I'll ever do that, because that will be overclaiming. But somewhere along the way, I admitted something I've been sidestepping for years. You see, the problem was never which course I was buying. It was that I was purchasing the intention rather than doing the work. And when I finally faced how much that pattern had cost me, not just the dollars, but the slow, draining feeling of recognizing it again and again and doing it anyway, well, that was harder to sit with than any other dollar figure. Here comes my Bible passage. This time it comes from Jesus. That's Luke chapter 16, verse 10. One who is faithful in a very little, it's also faithful in much. And one who is dishonest in a very little, it's also dishonest in much. I'm guessing you might have heard it before. So let's talk about faithful in a very little, but also dishonest in a very little. Yeah? That second word is doing more work than it first appears, doesn't it? Dishonest doesn't only mean lying to someone else. It can mean the quiet, private dishonesty of someone buying something while already knowing you won't use it. Telling yourself a story you've always stopped believing, that is. We've all been there. Come on. We have, haven't we? Now, I was being dishonest in a very little, and I do it repeatedly. But Edwin wasn't, the one who bought that $20 teapot. He needed a coffee, right? So he spent $20 on a well thought out practical solution, and then he used it. He used his brain. Every morning for over a decade, he used it. Now, that's not deprivation, is it? But I think that's what faithfulness in small things look like. When it walks through a hotel lobby and spots a problem worth solving. By the way, I'm going to need you guys some help, some love. I've been stuck on 49 subscribers for the last 2 days. Are you able to help me to reach that number 50? By the way, if you like this video, do share it, give it a thumbs like. Let's go on. Now I remember I bought my first electric razor in 1995. Yeah, I bought that in Singapore. The brand was Panasonic. Man, the weight of it in your hand, plus it was a bit of steel, premium, plastic as well, hard plastic. Man, it looked like someone made it with a lot of care involved. That razor was part of my morning routine for a decade before it finally gave out. And 2 years back, I bought a replacement, a Philip one. Mind you, it wasn't an expensive one. Yeah. And one morning I picked it up and nothing happened. I thought, oh, maybe it's fat batteries. That was my assumption. Easy fix, right? So I went out and put some fresh ones in. And I came back to the bathroom. Still, nothing happened. The thing was simply done. Done and dusted. Didn't even last 10 years or 5 years, right? But under a little bit over 12 months. Since then, I've gone back to disposable shavers because it's cheaper. I'm going to tell you too, I also drive a 2003 Toyota. That's 23 years old. Mind you, the seat is ripped. The dashboard is cracking. And yes, there are oil leaks that I'm not proud of. By any objective measure, it is not a modern vehicle at all, right? There's no modern tech gear that's implemented into the dashboard, none of that. I don't care because I love that car. Something about getting behind the wheel still gives me genuine joy. It's so comfortable, that car. It doesn't have the electronics of newer cars, neither the nice finish or the features. What it has is 23 years of showing up and do what it was built for, faithfully, without being asked twice. What a good car. And I'm in no hurry to replace it. Of course, I wouldn't say, get across the road. Never say never, right? So remember Edwin's pot, over 10,000 users from $20. My razor, a decade of faithful daily service. And the Toyota car, 23 years and still going. How's that? How's that? Now, one who is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much. I cannot emphasize that enough because it's character building. It's not a statement from a comfortable distance. It is a mirror pointed at the small repeated choices nobody else sees that feel too minor to examine, that turn out to be anything but minor when you finally add them up. My friends, what is your hobby? What is your lobby coffee? It's getting late, sorry. Right? Not the big financial decisions, but the small habitual spend that has never been honestly looked at. Now, the course still open in your browser that you paid for months ago and haven't touched. Are you guilty of that? And what's your $20 pot? The thing already in your possession has been quietly faithful for years. Put that in a comment. What would that be for you in your life? My goodness, Edward paid $20 for something that served him over 10,000 times. I hope he's doing the same for you as well. Remember, faithful in a very little. My friends, what is the small choice sitting in front of you today? The one nobody will notice either way. God will notice. And apparently, so does that pot. All right, thanks for being with me. It's probably can't see too much, but it's getting towards sunset. I'm going to head home now. It's been a long day. Thank you for your company. You take care. And please consider to subscribe. Bye-bye.